Anytime you're ready. Go ahead.
Alright, so to fillet a yellowfin tuna is pretty much the same as how we filleted a mahi the other day. You want to start at the tip of his head, and you're going to run your knife all the way down his backbone to the tail, just like this. Find his backbone, and then just insert the knife, and all you're trying to do now is cut the skin. So we're going to cut all the way down to the tail. Don't cut across the tail, leave that. Then come back to the point of the head. This is key. You want to come clear up to the point of the head because there's a lot of meat in here, and a lot of people cut it off here and miss, you know, like 5 pounds of meat. So now we're going to come back, cut the skin, and come right around the head here. It's a little tough because this one's a little bit bigger. Come around the tail, or around the head, right behind the fin, and then down to the belly, and then flatten your knife out. You don't want to get into the intestines here. And then cut down, and then cut down along the bottom of the spine, and all the way back to the tail. Leave the tail intact. Then you're going to come back to the head, and you should be able to pull up a little flap right here, and then you're just going to pull the skin back. Now it's a little tougher on these big ones because the skin just gets so thick and heavy that it's hard to pull it, so sometimes you have to cut it. But if we're lucky, we can pull this right back. Well, we got most of the way. Now we just take your knife and just come along here right behind the skin, and you're just not trying to cut into the meat, you're just trying to cut the skin off. Okay, once you've done that, then we're going to come back and you're going to take your knife and follow the backbone, flat right along the backbone, and cut all the way down until you feel the joints in his back. And when you cut deep enough, you'll kind of feel the tip of your knife, it'll just kind of click, click, click along the back. Then come back up, finish your cut around the head, and then come back and cut up through the belly. Again, try to avoid the intestinal cavity if you can. Okay, then you're going to come and cut the meat at the tail, and then just slide your knife right along the backbone, all the way up. Want to remember is this piece of meat is going to come off a little bloody, and I'll take my knife and I'll clean it as I cut it up into smaller pieces. A lot of people make the mistake here of wanting to wash the meat. Don't wash the meat at this point. Just go ahead and cut it, clean it as much with your knife this way as you can, and then put it into Ziploc bags, and then wash it right before you cook it. If you wash it now or try to clean it, it tends to make the fish mushy and it doesn't keep as well. Alright, so you can see we got a nice little fillet off of this fish. And now I'm going to flip it over, and I'll cut the bloodline out of it, and I'll section it up into double steaks. We'll put it in Ziploc bags, and probably have 25-30 pounds of meat here in the freezer.